All right, so it looks like we're live now here. Hi, everyone. This is the Greatness Everyday podcast for November 12th. And in this episode, we're going to talk about giving. Hey, it's Matt from the Greatness Everyday podcast, and thank you for listening to today's episode. We're currently going through the month of November, and in the month of November, typically it's been a pretty good month for me, and I've always made some challenges to myself. And this month, after doing a podcast every single day last year in the month of November, this month I've challenged myself to step that game up and really make a video for the 30 days. And in November, I need to make a video every single day. So as we're doing that 30 days of 30 videos challenge, today's day 12. I'm excited to say that we haven't missed a day yet. So that's been going on for the month, and it's been really, really good. So we haven't missed a video. I'm excited about that. I'm getting a few things that people are saying that they can't see what's actually happening. And I'm just going to continue and hope you can see it. So basically what's gone on is I hope you find value in those videos. There are videos on waking up early. There are videos on different book reviews. There are videos on finding your purpose in life. And Tuesday is a special day. Our videos on technology, how you can use technology to make your life better. Our Tech Tuesday series is something that I've really enjoyed doing, and the videos have been doing quite well as well. So, and there are a lot of other things that are scheduled for that. So I wanted to say thanks for anybody that's joined us since we've started this challenge. And basically, it's good to have you here. So how this live stream will work is I am live on YouTube, I'm live on Instagram, and I'm going to record the podcast episode right now. And if you have any questions as we go through, please put them in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to answer those on either platform. So thank you again, and let's get started. Today's episode is inspired by a quote that I shared on our Instagram page yet. If you're not following our Instagram page, go ahead and check that out, Greatness Every Day. And it's a quote from Anne Frank, and it says, "No one has ever become poor by giving." I think that so often in our world today, we define richness or we define wealth by how much money you have. But I think if that is the case, I think we're missing the point. Okay. Without a doubt, money is important. I'll be the first one to tell you that in the past year or so, I've really been kind of focusing on money. I've really been focusing on wealth and really kind of looking at how can I better use my money? How can I add additional streams of income? How can I start investing? How can I start to really be on the offensive side of the game rather than always on the defensive side of the game or always kind of constantly behind? But at the end of the day, I have to admit and I have to remember that money is not everything. I think that we need to recognize that really it isn't solely the material goods that we have in our lives that make up our wealth. Okay. So we don't define our wealth or richness of a quality of life by our material goods. And it doesn't make our lives great depending on how many we have or how little we have. Instead, it's the things that we give to others that make us rich, like the quote talks about. It's very easy to see as well when you look around the world. You look around the world and you see that wealth or how much money you have in your pocket, how much money your country has, doesn't equate to happiness. And if it did, you wouldn't see the problems that we have in our world. Like if you read the latest celebrity headlines, or if you were to go ahead and watch the news for a few minutes, you wouldn't see those problems in, let's say, the Western world, for example, if that was the case. So I think that this quote ultimately challenges us to evaluate, take a really good look at our own lives. And in this podcast episode, I want to ask you a few questions so that you can spend some time thinking about your answers to the questions. There's not a right or a wrong answer here, but I'm going to ask you a few questions and I want you to answer those on your own. If you feel like you need to go back and listen to this part over again, feel free to rewind after you're watching this live stream, go back, read them, listen to the questions and write your answers down. If you need to go grab a pen and paper, go ahead and do that. So the three questions here are, do you give? Who do you give to? And why do you give to it? So these three questions that I'm challenging you to think about today are important questions that I don't think we ask ourselves enough. I believe that giving is the key to becoming rich. You can give your time, you can give your words, and a lot of other things. It doesn't just have to be money. And it's really easy to think that really kind of the thing that we have to give is money, but that's not always the case. For me personally, over the last year, like I said, I've been really focusing on money and how do I use that as an offensive approach and how do I get ahead and make my money go as far as possible. But at the same time, I've really been focusing on how do I give my money? Where do I give my money? Why do I give my money? And maybe that's to a charity organization. Maybe that's to a religious organization. Maybe that's to the hockey team that's just asking for money to go to a tournament or something like that, or buy equipment. Maybe it's for somebody that is an obvious need of that money. That's something that I really feel has been laid on my heart lately. And I've been thinking about that a lot. So I'm asking you those questions today. You can give your time, you can give your words, you can give your energy, and tons of other things. Like I said, it doesn't just have to be money, but whatever you choose to give, who do you give it to? Is it a person that you're giving your money to? Is it a person you're giving your time to? Is it a person you're giving your words, your energy to? Is it an organization or a movement? And ultimately, the final question I have for you right now is why do you give it? And this is really important to ask ourselves and understand our answer. Why do we give it? We can give for many different reasons. Some of it could be for personal reasons. Some of it could be for selfish reasons. Some of it could be to help someone else. Some of it could be to, I know some people give, and unfortunately this is the case, but to kind of dance around their tax brackets, all right, and get different deductions. Why do you give? Could be anything else as well. So those three questions I'm asking you today are, do you give? Who do you give it to? And why do you give to it? Those are the questions I'm asking you to reflect on today. And that's my challenge. Think about your answers. Think about your answers to these questions. Ask your friends these questions and see what they have to say. You might think that they're easy answers, but I really feel that kind of once I did some introspective reflection, once I did some looking deep down inside, that was something that really surprised me as to the answers to those questions. So go ahead, answer those questions, get deep into it, and you'll probably realize that it's not as easy as you think they are. At least the answers aren't. To wrap up our podcast today, our goal is to help inspire you to live a great life. And I trust that today's topic did so on giving. We upload a quote and words of encouragement to our Instagram page every day. And then we leave you with the challenge to go out and live a great life because we want to encourage you. We want to motivate you. We want to build that relationship with you. And we want to stay connected with you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you are. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, or if you're at our website, www.greatnesseveryday.online, I hope we can start building that relationship. And I really want to say thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.